Hello, welcome to NC Exclusive. I'm Gbenga Aborowa. My guest is a fairly new entrant in politics in Malawi, although he is no stranger to political commentary. He has been part of an enduring television soap opera called Faranji, which translates to Why Are We Dying? It highlights some of the societal ills and the character that it created. Mulanje is known for being critical of politicians by poking fun at them. My guest today is a politician, Dr. Michael Buswick Usi, the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Wildlife of the Republic of Malawi. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for joining us on NC Exclusive.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Now, Dr. Usi, you once directed the TV series Faranji, which translates as Why Are We Dying? 10 years on, would you say the series has impacted Malawians as you projected?
Yes, maybe let me start by providing some background to the program. When we talk about Faranji, it's about message delivery. Faranji really focused on issues that affected and still affect Malawians, specifically and generally. Now, to answer your question directly, yes, it impacted and it still continues to impact Malawians because the issues that are addressed in the program are pertinent with what is happening and has been happening to Malawians. So it has an impact. And let me also mention that we don't just go and start a program. We have a research department that will engage specific groups of people to find out exactly why they do what they do so that we are relevant in our service to mankind. So yes, the impact is there and there's evidence.
Oh, glad to hear that. Now, Dr. Usi, you wear many hats: actor, writer, academic, minister, political leader. You're currently the vice president of UTM party. How are you able to effectively manage these portfolios in spite of how demanding it is? I do recall that you spoke to His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera to ask him if you could continue with your acting career while you're still a minister.
Yeah, you see, there is a common denominator to all these hats. It's service to mankind, is being people-centered. I'm looking at a Malawian. I'm looking at his or her life and how Michael Usi and Faranji can be relevant to the aspirations of Malawians. Now, as you may know, that communication is not science, it's an art. So what does happen is that you have to analyze, first of all, what type of message you'd like to put across and what would be the best medium. Should it be a minister? Should it be an actor? Should it be a preacher? Should it be? So it depends pretty much on the type of message and the target group that you want the message to land on. So based on that, you change your hats. Now, when I became minister, I contacted my colleagues in the Faranji group, and of course, I didn't know what the president would say, whether he would allow me to continue or not. But when I asked for permission to continue, the president gladly permitted me to continue being the voice of the Malawians. So I am continuing to be.
Now, it was heartening in August to see you broke a record of being the first minister to reach the Saptiwa Peak, which is an important tourist and ecological feature in your country, Malawi. Could you share how it felt from preparation to returning, and how did you feel when you got to the peak?
Three things. Number one, I was very surprised because I didn't know that Malawi is that beautiful. There are sceneries on top of Mulanje Mountain, which you cannot communicate in any language because it's just too difficult. What you see communicates to you in a language that you cannot, intend to communicate to other people. You just have to be there and see for yourself. We can only try to give an impression through pictures or explanations. So I was positively surprised. I was very happy, excited to see that we have a beautiful country, and also to appreciate the scale of destruction of the unique species of trees to the mountain, which is called the Mulanje cedar. I was told that we had about 84,000 trees on that mountain, but due to human behavior, we have destroyed the trees. We only have 7 at the moment. But if I'm happy to say that at this point in time, strides have been made to, replant the trees. So we hope to regain the population of the tree that we have had.
What inspired you to take up that challenge?
Yes, and many people did give me a chance to get up to the summit, but I was determined. It was a heart, and I enjoyed it. I walked my pace. I was not competing with anybody. We had fun. So I was very happy, and I'm still very happy that I made it.
And I'm sure a lot went into preparations before you didn't just wake up and move to the mountains. You must have physically prepared.
I'm an active person. I'm always, doing exercises. I keep myself fit. So it wasn't very difficult. I did not need really to, prepare in a very special way. It was just to prepare myself psychologically, not physically.
And congratulations on that feat. It's a no-mean feat, Dr. Usi. Now, Honorable Minister, what are the most significant programs you've introduced to improve wildlife conservation in Malawi? Because you just mentioned the deforestation and the loss of some tree species on the mountain when you climbed up to Septiwa Peak.
Yeah, one of the problems that we have had in as far as conserving wildlife in Malawi has been the wildlife-human conflict, where poaching has been a very big issue. Now, what we have done is to strengthen and support legal instruments to ensure that those that are found in the wrong side of the law should actually receive their punishments, which will be a deterrent to those that would be planning to destroy our wildlife. Number 2, we have also looked at the relationship that should be there between the people surrounding the game parks and the rangers, so that they are not a threat to the existence of the animals. We have done this by making sure that the people are given livelihood to projects, given money for business, and also farm inputs. So we are really making sure that the human wildlife conflict is reduced. Sensitization campaigns as regards to the value of the national parks to the economy of Malawi have been intensified. So we are really doing very well. And I would also mention that the concessions that we have now with some foreign entities are helping us to add value to the initiatives that the government has put in place to make sure that wildlife is preserved. We have the big 5 in many of our national parks, and the roads are well paved. It's so exciting when you get to the national parks of Malawi. It's quite a different picture that you get, as opposed to what you used to encounter in the previous years.
News Central will definitely take up that chance to visit the beautiful Malawi, as you've described it, someday. Now, moving on.
Most welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Minister. Moving on, Honorable Minister, your country, Malawi, ranks 165th out of 177 on the UNDP Human Development Index, and one of the lowest GDP on the continent. I do know that the government of Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is quite new. So my question to you, Honorable Minister, is what should we expect from Malawi in the next 15 to 20 years to challenge the current situation from the administration of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera?
Yes, you see, all things rise and fall on leadership. And I would say good people are best for national development. And also, as the community development is concerned, we need to understand what our people refer to as development. We have the Malawi 2063, popularly known as Vision 2063. In there are three pillars. We have the agriculture, which is commercialization, we have industrialization, we have urbanization. Under those pillars, we have action plans, stakeholders. So when we implement the Malawi 2063, the hope is that Malawi will be self-sustained, Malawi will graduate to middle income, and it's going to be an inclusive economy. Looking also at the reforms which are championed by the State Vice President, Dr. Klaus Chilima, you would see, you have evidence that the Malawi government of today is striving hard to operate like a private sector. Business unusual. You are looking at issues of time management. You're looking at issues of what did you plan to do? Did you achieve? We do not want to be celebrating activities, but celebrating impacts.
And deliberate plans to fix issues.
Come again?
Strategic and deliberate plans to fix some of the problems in the country, I believe.
I'm not sure I'm getting you.
I said there are strategic and deliberate plans to fix some of the issues in the country. Yes.
Yes. Well analyzed, well understood, and positioned in such a way that we really have the impact as desired.
Now, your country's fast population, it has a fast-growing population, limited arable land, and the consequent challenges of food security. Honorable Minister, what specific plans does the government of Malawi have to tap into the knowledge-driven economy?
No, you are mentioning something that is very critical, knowledge-driven economy. You see, population is one variable that undermines all initiatives that the government may have to develop the country, because today you may plan to reach out to 18 million Malawians, but by the time you finish that phase, you see that you have 18 plus, and that plus is a big number. So that is critical. So what Malawi as a government is doing is factoring the impact of population in this. We are also looking at issues of literacy very seriously. We're also looking at issues of micro financing seriously. We would want to have every Malawian involved in developing this country, participating in economic development. So it is not a program that is hatched from a theoretical perspective. It is informed by evidence, looking at the poverty index of Malawi as of today.
Now, Honorable Minister, by regional standards, Malawi has one of the lowest crime rates. What can other Southern African countries learn from this?
It's culture. Malawi has been a peaceful country. We cherish peace. And in fact, we have invested a lot in peace, even for tourism. So it is peace. Malawians are peaceful people by culture. That's our way of life.
Tourism has the potential to be a significant driver of economic growth. In Malawi, yes. You also need this money to actualize your Vision 2063 goal, as you mentioned earlier. So what plans do you have, Honorable Minister? In what ways are you collaborating with regional players and international stakeholders to up the ante in favor of Malawi, to make Malawi an attractive tourism destination so that people in Nigeria, West Africa, and different parts of the world would find Malawi very attractive and will make plans to visit the beautiful Malawi someday?
Yes, Malawi has the natural resources. Malawi is endowed. What has been lacking previously, I would say, is the discipline. We have what it takes to make Malawi the must-visit tourist destination, but we haven't had the discipline to exploit the resources that the Lord blessed Malawi with. What is happening now, everything that we are doing as far as developing tourism in Malawi is concerned, We are looking at domestic tourism. We are looking at international tourism. We want the domestic tourism to be improved. We have actually a strategy that is looking at that. The marketing strategy is also looking at utilizing media communications, which is going to be focusing on what language we are supposed to use to sensitize our people to patronize our sites. That is number one, because when they visit those sites and they see what they see, much is going to be talked about those areas. So the outside world is going to be aware of what Malawi has to offer as far as tourism is concerned. Number two, we are looking at our collaboration, multilateral and bilateral cooperation with other countries and also borders, to look at areas like the cultural and heritage, which are the areas that we have to work together. For example, UNESCO. How do we add value to these sites so that they become attractive? We're also looking at the issue of marketing, which is very, very critical.
Yeah, it's true. You can't have a group product without marketing it. You need to get the word out there. Now, Honourable Minister, President Lazarus Chakwera sacked Labour Minister and arrested 19 officials for fraudulent use of COVID-19 funds last month. He sacked Energy Minister and a few others in cases of graft. Are you satisfied with the no-nonsense anti-corruption posture of the current administration, and will it be sustainable?
It would be dangerous to say I am satisfied. And I don't think that we can say we are satisfied. What I can say is we are pleased with the strides taken by government to make sure that corruption is eradicated or reduced in Malawi. We will say we are satisfied when the corruption cases have significantly reduced. But at the moment, I would say so far so good in as far as fighting corruption is concerned. Of course, there are areas that have to be improved, and those areas like expediting the process of hearing the cases. These are very important. As it were, the economy of Malawi at this point in time maybe is a challenge to make sure that we achieve this aspiration, but the government is trying its best within the means that we have.
Okay. Finally, Honourable Minister, I know you don't have a crystal ball in front of you, but I'd like to ask you, what message do you have for Malawians? What should they expect at the end of the first term of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, and you are a cabinet minister in his government? What should they expect from your administration in the first term, by the end of the first term?
Number one, it is our prayer, it is our hope, it is our promise that we should do our best to deliver on the manifesto promises that we made during the campaigns. And we are serious with issues of reducing corruption in Malawi. And we want everybody to be included, as is discussed in the Malawi 2063. So Malawians should be hopeful. Let's come together. The plans are there. The will is there. Political will. Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, our president, and the vice president, Dr. Chilima, our cabinet, and all Malawians, we are together and would want to move forward together. Challenges will be there, but let's be hopeful that we are going to achieve. We just need the discipline that is required.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister Dr. Michael Usi. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you on NC Exclusive, and I look forward to watching the first episode of Tukufuranji with you as a seventh minister.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate for having me here.
Thank you very much, and all the best. And that's it on NC Exclusive. Our guest has been the Honourable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Wildlife of the Republic of Malawi, Dr. Michael Usi and Gbenga Aborowa. Until next time on NC Exclusive.